How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Disco Elysium. We're still in the pawn shop. We got a lot to talk about. We got to make some money so we can pay our rent, or our what we owe the innkeeper, so we can sleep and carry on our investigation tomorrow, because it's getting late.
Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Something I'd like to sell. Yes, we'd like to sell those hubcaps. The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and nods. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince with them? Jump a mesk banger? No matter, I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you. The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash. Of course, I meant no offence. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. He takes the cash, then turns to you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Both the lieutenant and the pawnbroker turn to you. Check my pockets. Should I keep these or sell them or what? They're not worth anything, really. Nah. You might be able to aid our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you may have. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone. He doesn't know anything. No one likes to see what you have to see every day. Think you can help me get a corpse out of a tree? The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. He looks into the swirling lights sent to you. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help. Actually, that's all I've got. By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by the officers of the citizen militia? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I probably sold her the gun you pawned a couple of days back. What? Sold? This is a pawn shop. And it did feel as if you'd met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Wait, I sold you my gun? You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. He hesitates. Said you are undeserving of a service weapon of the Rivercole Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. Was the buyer a policeman too? She didn't seem like a policeman, though she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of her. To get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right. The lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit crime and blame it on the Citizens Militia? You're right, that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. He looks around worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went. Needle in a haystack. There's nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope your luck upon her somehow. At least I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Okay, let's go. Can we do anything with this stuff? I don't think so. Let's just go. I need to go pay my bill and have a sleep. It's getting late. It's 11 o'clock at night. Well, not in real life. In real life it's 3:30 in the morning, so it's even later. But in the game it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to catch up on my recording, so it's now 3:30 in the morning. Let's pay him.
Can I help you?
Got the money I owe. Here you go. Here it is, sorry for the trouble. Great, thank you, officer, that's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance, starting tomorrow. He takes out his keychain and fiddles with the mechanism behind the counter. The electronic lock in your room has been disabled until 9 tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night. He opens his wallet. I'll take a room here too. Of course. He takes the money and hands him a keyring. Always happy to help. To have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Come on, Kim. You gotta give me a rundown. Kim's gotta help me out here. Tell me about everything that I don't know, which is everything. This is the door to the room you've redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment.
You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go. Good plan. I like it. Did a good first day. Good first day. Lots of investigating. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum, then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. Something of a ritual. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. A cigarette's such a great idea. I think I'll have one too. He blows a steady stream of smoke. You're cool, detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night. How'd you get so cool, Kim? The light of a cigarette illuminates his fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Right then, the debrief. Yes, he pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. The body still hangs from that tree, which is unfortunate, but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. Say nothing. As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everett Clare, much less interview him. That's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just wait until we get up tomorrow. I don't know why I do things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on a cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles. Suddenly, nice shoes by the way. I like the green, goes with the orange. Thank you for the compliment. We could manage it even in wooden clogs. They are uncanny running reservoirs in this body. God knows why. So what are our powers exactly? The RCM. They're quite limited actually. The power officers of Rivacol citizens militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offences, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from the local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than that prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines the trust of the RCM. What else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. And if someone resists? As you may have gathered from the fact that we're expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. And who makes all the rules? The coalition government, and the Moralintern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore the order of the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on the window below, that just went dark. Well, perhaps it's better to say we're allowed to form. It's the point of contention whether the citizens of Rivacol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Whatever. Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum. The Moralintern, what is that? The Moralist International are a world's largest political organisation. Pulls on a cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. I really don't know. That's how bad it is in here. Okay. They're a union of centre-left and centre-right parties across the Real Belt. The coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organisations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are the DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by her innocence, Dolores Dye, 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Dye. Who was Dolores Dye? A historic figure? The author of the modern age, he thinks? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. For you, she is something painful, though it is hard to say why. What is their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, and self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Something like dark blue, serious colour of the early night sky above. What do you think of them? The moral in turn are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts. Until they change, and he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. I have an opinion. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow and pulls on a cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Things are bad out there. We need them here giving us the right to police in Revocol. That's true. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't inhumanism. That's true too, though. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization. Okay. Might have silently immigrants, blah blah blah. Well, the first one's true, and we're the police, so... In fact, we would need them, even if you didn't think that way. We're in what's called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we're simply vigilantes. Maybe we should make our own law. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop, but hypothetical aside, in Martinez, we already are vigilantes. At least, the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses, the red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string, from east to west as Revocol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over. Say nothing. The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly like luminous clouds. They pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on ground below. Kitsurugi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky, two glowing circles. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here." And the mouth on that kid, Kuno, is different inland, and Jamrock and the GRIH. What are they like? Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks. Then in Jamrock and the GRIH? He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are..." He shakes his head. "But we are in control. And it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here, at least do some good." "Me too," he says quietly, "but I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes." He's very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older. "Thank you for this." "Yeah, it's getting very cold now, let's go." He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. "Let's go." Oh, River Shoal. Not River Cole, it's River Shoal. My bad. Well, I'll remember that in the future. See you in the morning. What is this? Empty cassette case. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9. Time for bed. We got a lot to do tomorrow. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then, sleep doesn't come. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling is separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. It smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. Check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Colours, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with, what was the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brainwaves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. Great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep, and images start forming. Oh my god, are we gonna have like dreams? That's gonna get messy. Are we in control? Oh my god. We're in control of his dream world? We should go to the corpse. Oh, it's me.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said... Who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left?
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
So my name's Harry then. I've seen you before.
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve this case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
What? There's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Yay! Shit factory. How exciting. Oh, what a great night that was. Anyway. Come on, you get up. We got shit factory to do. Good going, buddy. Oh my god, what the hell was that? Oh, just a dream. Everyone's like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell's going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? So too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? Can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. No, I can take this. I'm not going to look for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live as a pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically a week? Let's be honest. 2 weeks? Maybe 3? You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You'll be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without speed. Half the town won't be dead. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark. I'm going out. What room is Kim in? Oh look, that room's full now. Well, we can talk to all them. Morning, Kim.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. You mean rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the police being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast. There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardie Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. Are these the men Garte told us about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at his notes. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the look of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. There are so many of them. Maybe we should call them reinforcements? They'll just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth the conflict between the RCM and the... Yeah, okay, fair enough. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war, so let's keep a cool head, okay? He's not exaggerating about your mortal danger. Just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises uncomfortably. Let's go. One more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them and continue our business. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder? They're in no hurry to leave. I think they're... I think they own the place. Anyway, I'll leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. I want to talk to them now while we're here. Start with you then.
Over here.
Oh, hello. I already know you. You're the gardener.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
I knew you were not the gardener.
That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dockworkers Union.
You're right, Lieutenant. She did seem friendlier sitting on that corner. Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardie, who you think has information on the murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to the man sitting in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong-arming, nothing official. The district of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for herself. What's your role in all this? Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. She crosses her arms. Do you have hearing problems? Why are you so aggressive? Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers. Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on the police? We'll let you off easy, miss. Don't think it'll happen again. Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the occult Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards. Fuck yeah, the tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. You came to ask? So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. I know you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong, unlike you socialists. I liked it. I like that. Good start. Let's take a step further. Armed uprising? What are the union's plans? Look, a comedian. Her expression stiffens. Do your job. Ask the questions. And get out of Martinez. Should go to Titus then. Is that this guy?
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective?
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. We need to talk about the man hanging out the back.
Oh, this is about him? A real looker, that one.
You're sure taking your time. Waiting for him to get all ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he's a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room, probably mid-50s, smoker, quiet. Across the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mescal Saramirizian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villaboos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else, the ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toe size 46, the big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says, Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads, T. Hardie, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toe size 44. 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. He's squint. Is that Phyllectron? Where? On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician. And the little guy? Size 41 with a light step. Not a child after all. An older man with a rat face. Mean watery eyes and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in the armor and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors at the crime scene. The footprints were theirs. But there's a discrepancy. One of them's missing, the odd soul. Exactly. He stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardie? The fuck is with you, fella? Titus is staring at you with his head tilted. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardie boy? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. He sizes you up. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring. He shakes his head. Actually, boss, who ain't talking? And we think she could, maybe. Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop? It has to be good if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too. So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy, and it's a she. And you don't like us talking about her. That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit, and, he points at Kim, you're not cops here. Don't go digging around. If you don't want a bullet in the back of your head, I'm watching you. Good, we're all watching each other. Lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it? The pretty boy. He takes a sip from his can. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy. Funny, the lieutenant says without a smile, but my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you. Why are your boot prints all over the scene? You mean these boots? He raises his worker boot. Size 46, steel reinforced toe. Yes. We all got a pair. He squints. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out the back and hung him by the neck. As he speaks, his fists contract, going through the pulling motion again, savouring it. Yeah, we did this. He looks you dead in the eye, together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why our prints are all over the scene. So you just confessed to murder? Goddamn righto. No, the woman interjects. These 7 honest men have equally come forth and told you what happened, so you don't waste any more of your time. All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic. You murder him just like that, no remorse? How many people have you sent to the chase? Ever felt remorse for them? Chase électrique is a method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the Suzerain reigns, it used to be the firing squad. Or sent to the reunion to rot for 20 years for life. He says as if it were worse than dying. And reunion, what's that? The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown. What we do is different. We're enforcing the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. But you see, a lawman, he says, squeezing his beer can, is something people agree on. And here in Martinez, we agree that this man had to die. This isn't something he came up with on the spot. It's his standard reasoning, a product of many years of being Titus Hardie. When did this hanging incident occur? You don't have to answer any of his questions. The fixer turns to remind Titus. I know, Lizzie, relax. He takes a sip. We killed him last Sunday night. Seems like a good way to end the week. How long have you known the victim? Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, arsehole. Yeah, who do you think we are? Quiet. Titus gives Glenn a stern look, then comes around about 3 weeks ago, when that Pines cow first out of town. Happy? By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines. The lieutenant checks his notes. The shipping company is striking against. No, he stresses. I mean the Pines cow. Stupid ass cow. They sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough. That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. She turns to you. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions. Why did you kill him? Why? He hisses through his teeth. Because he's a worthless mercenary scum, and he stepped out of line in my town. So he was a mercenary, that's it? And he stepped out of line, he repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice. What kind of mercenary? The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Li Shimin or Seminin written all over him. Ex-Orange Special Force. A live grenade. The man spreads his arms. Right here in our bar. I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara. How do you know he was in Special Forces? Because one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Orange's goddamn Special Forces and I'm gonna fuck you all. Really? Yeah, really. He had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Orange paratrooper song and said he was gonna fuck everyone. I couldn't believe it either. But he fucking did, right there. He poised at the stage, like some kind of animal. Sire, their tale is true. This is a serious violation of karaoke code. Okay, but besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong? Wrong, he roared. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning. He wiped spittle from his mouth. From rape to harassment to threats of violence, why this strange de-escalation? To kill us all if we don't open the gates. If we don't let the scabs in. If we don't bend over. He cracks his knuckles. And that was before he started coming here. Yeah, he said it was his favourite joint now. He started coming every night, drinking, grabbing girls, grabbing one of ours mid-karaoke right there on the stage. You grabbed someone? The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Yeah, this girl on the mic. Beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake and the fucker grabs her legs. Starts screaming. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down. He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said? Aren't you fucking listening? My man's talking to you. He took care of it. They got that girl out before anything else could happen. Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening? He repeats like a parrot. Something odd here. Is it they don't want to talk about the rape Titus mentioned? Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it. Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation. No, there's a moment of silence. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm discussing it with you clowns. There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you. Who called the shots that night? Are you deaf? There'll be no singling anyone out. You can arrest a Hardie. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. A shadow of a smirk passing her lips as she tilts her head. You think you could do that? Do you think you'd arrest all of them? A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation. No, but seriously, who called the shots around here? Who do you fucking think does? He sounds more amused than angry. You do. You give the commands. That's right, arsehole. Titus Hardie runs the Hardie boys. Ain't that so, fellas? He looks around for approval. Titus grins. I think you got your answer, Mr. Law. No, you did not get your answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man. How'd you kill him? He hanged him by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper? Didn't they teach you anything at cop school, idiot? This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know. We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams. Titus, you don't have to clarify anything. We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady. Then we left him for the seagulls, maggots. The small man points at you, and you fucks. Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Let's see if it all adds up. Well, I can't do that one. 17%? Wasn't he a trained killer? From RNG's Special Forces? If yes, how'd you manage to overpower him? With numbers, arsehole, how do you think? He looks at the woman. You're right, Lizzie. You've done enough. I've done enough explaining here. Where did this overpowering happen? You ain't fucking listening. The fucker came to our bar. He looks around. It happened here. Well, we'll try it. Nah. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed, the entire room, given how many questions you've lobbed at them. All of them? Maybe one of them is fidgeting, cracking under the pressure? Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up. Why don't I just arrest you? Here, lawman. He takes a step closer as well, fixing his ball cap. Why don't you? It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you. Not in the arresting mode. His mean little eyes come alive with hatred. A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. If you confess to murder, I'm taking you in. Look, coppers. Titus opens up his vest, revealing a holstered firearm. I know you think you're doing your job here. There are 7 of us, and 2 of you. Almighty God, even Dick Mullen only has a 45. He doesn't actually want to hurt you. There's an easy way out of this. A self-deprecating joke. Fine, I only have 1 pair of handcuffs anyway. Good one. The man closes his vest, but he's not laughing. You need to go and cool off right now, copper. Can't joke your way out of the next one. It won't be necessary. We'll be on our way now. Let everyone cool off a bit. Pulls you along. Okay, that went alright. That went alright. We got some information out of it anyway. If nothing else. And we got 2 skill points. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't really know what we should be spending it on, but it's still not bad. What else are we going to be doing here? Find money to pay for the rent. Oh, God. Oh, we need to talk to the lady. That's going to be the next thing. We need to wrap this episode up, but we need to talk to... First of all, we need to talk to the Pines lady, representative. That's going to be the first thing we do. Oh, and the victim's armor thing might be run by now as well. Oh, and we need to go up that top bit. We still haven't done that either, so lots to do. Till then, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking it out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.